Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas.
Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Las Vegas Raiders. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway.
And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That one, a first down pickup of 8. In motion left is Watkins. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Sanders. 4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for 1st.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. They'll get 34 yards there.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
They'll run with Sanders. 41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Sanders again. And good work there defensively as they're able to keep him out of the end zone.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Sanders will take this one in for an Eagles touchdown. A first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Throwing to start the drive. Underwood. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Ambry Thomas. Well, that's certainly not the start that they envisioned, Charles. You give up the long touchdown drive, and there, an interception on their first play from scrimmage.
Brandon, I wonder if the mindset was simply, well, that was a long touchdown drive. Their defense might be a little relaxed and feel like, hey, we're in good shape now having 7 in hand. Maybe they just thought, let's take the shot at them right now. Instead, it went against them.
In motion comes the tight end left. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. First carry for Josh Jacobs. They find some open field here. There he goes left side. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Josh Jacobs with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
In motion left is Watkins. Second down, back to Sanders.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
54 yards rushing for him now to this point.
The Eagles on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts.
Going deep here for Watkins. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown.
Quez Watkins with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And you figure this should be a healthy, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
He's got a man complete. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hurts. He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Throwing is Hurts. Flush to his right. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Partner, everything that happened before that fumble was great. Good vision, navigated the open field, got good chunk yardage. At that point, if you see a defender coming, though, just step out of bounds. Don't risk all you picked up before the hit to just try and get an extra yard or two.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Underwood flushed out right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Well, partner, this offense 12-0 now on the year following their latest victory. And during the week, a lot of folks making comparisons between this squad and the 1985 Bears. You know, they too were 12-0 at this juncture of the season before losing on a Monday night 38-24 to the Dolphins at the Orange Bowl way back on December 2nd of 85. But then they'd never lose again en route to winning Super Bowl 20.
And when you look back on it, partner, didn't it almost feel like a setup game? Because they were playing the Dolphins, and the Dolphins were protecting their franchise's undefeated season of 1972, that team. And you know what that team does. They love to celebrate the fact that they still are the only one to get through an entire NFL season that way. That was Dan Marino's 3rd year, playing under the great Don Shula, and they were motivated to keep that franchise's record intact.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts out to his left. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Hurts sets up to throw it. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Here's Hurts to throw. Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Sanders here as they run out of the gun. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Another run here with Sanders. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The first down line at the 34 here on third down. Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders. A gain of 2, just like we saw on first and second down as well. Deuce is wild. Now a timeout called for by the defense as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Underwood. He's going deep for Brown. It got his man complete. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. Carlson on for the PAT. And that one will give them the lead here as we approach halftime. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They go play action with Hurts. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center because, remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion. And sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. Hook up of 15 yards there. And that will bring up second down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
It's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 3.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
That's be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And they'll get to this and down it inside the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 60 yards on the ground for him so far.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
A give running left. It's Sanders. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They're going on 4th down with Hurts. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. And the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that?
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right, but he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I guarantee he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out. Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
second down. Jacobs once more.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. Off the play fake. Underwood.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick.
The 40. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the third quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And, boy, that sure turned out well for them.
Taken at the 15, a short kick. Now, they nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick-6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick-6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Throwing on first down. Underwood. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Off play action. Underwood.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked up by Ambry Thomas. And the Eagles are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
On 2nd and 9. Hurts escaping the pressure right. It's caught by Sanders. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And now it's 3rd and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He's going to look deep for Watkins. And this is caught inside the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. They'll try to run with Sanders. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. They'll try again, but he will go backwards as he's stopped for a loss. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw here. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Rosas' kick is good. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for it.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Looking to throw. Underwood. This is caught. It's Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. The tackle by Nakobe Dean. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Underwood. He's going deep for Brown. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Hollywood Marquise Brown. 45 yards. And the Raiders are an extra point away from taking the lead here in the 4th. Important extra point up and through. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. 17 yards and a first down for Philly. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. He's back to throw. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
They'll look to throw. That's caught by Pitts. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 67 yards rushing for him now on 25 carries. Right back to Sanders on first down. And taking it right down Broadway. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow! Wow!
What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the fourth quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
They'll turn to Sanders, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked up by Ambry Thomas. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-six TD. Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick six.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In the case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Nate Hobbs. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance